Go to philsgang.com or call one of our professional staff to answer your questions. 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Stop wondering about your financial future and start doing something about it.
Hi, I'm Phil Grant at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down. It keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now are the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com, you can. philsgang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With philsgang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grant at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down. It keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now are the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market is still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money, money, money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money, 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 money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grandy.
And welcome to Phil's Gang. Today we're going to take some emails. That's right. If you have a question about a stock, just email support at philsgang.com. And Steve is the head of our education department, and he'll answer your emails. Any question you have about a stock. Okay, so if you have a question and you're wondering what to do, if you're in tech stocks or you're in bank stocks, which stocks you should be in. And let's talk about that for a moment. Steve, welcome aboard. Thanks, Phil. We have, I want to first, before we start taking the questions, there's a very serious problem, and the fake Business News Network don't tell you about it. They don't want you to know about it. And it's real estate. That's right, real estate. What people don't realize is that real estate, if you have these oil prices starting to drop because of closing down the economy, first in Austria, now Germany, just parts of it, they're predicting within 3 to 4 weeks, as we get deeper into the winter in the cold weather, they're predicting that the oil prices are going to drop, and because there's not going to be much demand for oil, because when you close down economies, like when we closed our economy down back in February 2020 and March 2020, we saw what happened. Oil went down to zero. You could get oil free. Remember that? It was crazy. It was a bonanza for us, because I told everybody when that was happening, let's buy oil, man. It's going to go back up to near $100 a barrel. Well, it got up to about 78, almost 80, or it did get to 80. So here's the problem as I see it. When oil prices, when you start closing economies, that means they don't need oil. Oil is used in manufacturing, big time, in construction, everything else you can think of. If they don't have oil, that means no use for oil. That means the economy's getting very weak and people panic. And the first thing that happens in that kind of situation, your house prices go down. That's right. So remember, we're a global economy. Even if the pandemic doesn't hit us again and we don't close down, doesn't mean we're safe. When you have a global market and all of a sudden oil drops big time, then that means real estate all over the world is going to drop. And especially the big problem is China. They're already in trouble. China has 4 large developers. They're all going bankrupt. So we got to watch, Steve, this oil price very closely in the next few weeks. Because if the housing market drops, you lose confidence. Investors then switch out of stocks back into bonds, and the market starts to collapse. So I would say the next 2 to 4 weeks is going to be very, very crucial, and we've got to keep our eye on that. The other thing, too, that people don't realize, since 2008, this whole stock market has been financially engineered to the upside. How's that happen? Well, you got to understand in the market, the way the economies work. If you have a problem with, if they increase the money supply, inflation goes up. If you increase oil prices, inflation goes up. You have a supply chain problem, inflation goes up. So increase money supply, increase oil prices, supply chain. That's all very inflationary. And what does that do? That kills big tech stocks. What's been driving the stock market since 2008? QE1, QE2, QE3, which they call the twist. And then 2004, or they call QE3. But let's just use QE1, 2, 3, and 4. During those times, remember, they printed and put in $1 trillion. Okay, that was QE1. Then they printed and put in another $650 billion. They printed, put another $400 billion. Printed, put another $1 trillion in. That was to keep propping up the market. And how do they do that? Drop yields. They buy 10-year treasuries to drop those yields to push up big tech stocks. Those tech stocks you're in love with. Those tech stocks you're addicted to. The Apple and the Microsoft and the Facebook that you're addicted to. They use those stocks to prop up the market. The only way they can prop those up is they got to drive yields down every time something happens that's inflationary. And the last thing that's so inflationary is our supply chain problem. So that's how they've been driving the market, Steve, since 2008. You know that better than I do. And remember what happened in 2014, right before Trump decided to run. Yields all of a sudden started to climb. Very bad for big tech, because big tech is there to drive the market. Remember, our S&P 500, our S&P 500 stocks, only 7 stocks drive that whole S&P. If you take 7 of the biggest tech stocks out of the S&P, it will collapse overnight. It'll collapse overnight. So from 2008 until Trump started to run for office and campaign in late 2014, beginning of 2015. Remember, they were propping this whole market up with QE. Now he gets in the race. He's promising getting rid of Obamacare, cutting regulations. Investors got excited. They jumped in there and they just kept buying stocks. Nobody cared about yields going up or interest rates going up. And what happened is, by the time that COVID hit, in 2020, March, the yields were at 125 basis points. That's why the market
collapsed. It wasn't because of the pandemic, because the big tech stocks can't stay up. Your beloved Apple can't stay up. Your beloved Facebook can't stay up when you got yields at 125 basis points. So that's why the market went down 31 points, 31%. If we didn't have pandemic of February 2020, we still would have dropped. Because remember, the only way they can keep the stock market up, they started the engineering in 2008. Again, anything that's inflationary, money supply, oil prices, supply chain interference, they have to counter that by pushing those big tech stocks up. They only can counter that by that 120 billion we talk about every day now, that they're going to taper that 120 billion. They're not going to taper that 120 billion. They can't. Because every time the market's inflation rises up, they need that 120 billion to buy treasuries, to drop down the 10-year treasury yield, to push up that big tech stock, Facebook, and all the rest of them, Amazon, to keep the market up. So this is going to be interesting. We're now near 170 basis points, which is like kryptonite to Superman. 170 basis points with big tech stocks, it kills them. So you got bank stocks starting to go up instead of the big tech stocks. Even if they don't drop the yields, let's say they drop the yields from 170 basis points down to 100 basis points. You say, well, we can be safe then because our big tech stocks will go up. Yes, but we'll override that if oil prices drop because they're closing down Europe. Then what's going to happen is, even with yields that low, even with big tech stocks going back up, it won't save the market, because once oil goes down, that's a killer. It takes all the confidence out of all the investors, and they run like hell to the bond market and start selling all of their stocks. So no one's talking about it, Steve, the housing market and the danger there, and we're going to stay on top of that with our members so that we'll be ahead of all this. And when we get back,
absolutely, Phil.
yeah, and we get back, Steve, we'll start with your questions. And let's see what's on people's mind, what stocks they're looking at, and hopefully we can help them. We'll be right back, myself and Steve, right after this message.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed, because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere, because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG, try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you, start making money. Please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. And that's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy. Is your business prepared to respond to any emergency in the workplace? Well, you better be. Let over 30 years of law enforcement experience go to work for you. Boyd Investigative Group is here for all your business security needs. I know. I use them. They're terrific. Call today for your free confidential consultation. 941-724-4535. That's 941-724-4535. Or visit them on the website, BoydInvestigativeGroup.com.
License number A1900020.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, Phil'sGang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. And that's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgate.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
Did you know breast cancer kills 113 people every day? That's unacceptable.
African American women die from breast cancer nearly 41% more than Caucasian women.
That's unacceptable.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of all cancer deaths for Hispanic women.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
Together with Susan G. Komen, we're committed to reducing U.S. breast cancer deaths by half.
And we're going to do it by 2026.
Visit Komen.org/unacceptable.
When the market's open, we watch the market all day long. And when we see there's an opportunity for a stock, and it's a stock that we've been following, there's a lot of stocks we put on our watch list, and it has to hit a certain criteria. Then when it does, we alert you. You immediately get an alert. It says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night, and you don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call, 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Welcome back to Phil's Gang. If you haven't had a chance to send in your question, you got a few minutes. So make sure you send it at support@philsgang.com, support@philsgang.com, and Steve will answer the questions for you about your stock. So you got about another minute. And in the meantime, I got to play you something that is such unbelievable nonsense. Listen to this.
Tech stocks have actually done very well during rising rate environments.
Can you imagine saying tech stocks have done well above a rising rate environment? First of all, understand, Fake Business News Network, their job is to give you hope, give you optimism, get you thrilled, get you to buy more stock on margin, go borrow more money, buy stocks through borrowing money, to get you in a stage of euphoria, complacency. Then you get hit with your margin call. That is a bull-faced lie.
Tech stocks have actually done very well during rising rate environments.
Tech stocks do terrible during a rising rate environment, mean yields. If that was true, why are they saying they don't want to taper the $120 billion they printed since 2014 for the purpose of every time we have rising rates, they take that money from that $120 billion and take it by 10-year treasury yields at an auction to drop down the yields because big tech stocks don't do well with high yields. They drive that yield down, so the big tech stock like Apple and Microsoft and Google and Amazon go up to keep your stock market propped up. Am I right, Steve?
Absolutely, Phil. Yeah, I couldn't explain it better myself.
And so let's go to some questions, because I know people have a lot of questions as we go into this really crazy situation where Europe could shut down, and man, this could you really want to know how to short stocks. If that happens, it'll be terrific. Go ahead, Steve.
Absolutely, Phil. I've got the first questions actually directed to you, Phil, from a longtime gang member, Henry. And he says, "Happy Thanksgiving, Phil. Please review RIOT, Riot Blockchain." He's got a Scout. He wants to know, when can he add to that Scout?
Okay, RIOT.
Correct.
Okay, RIOT. Well, I know the manager of the company very well. I know the CEO. He's a good guy. He's a really great guy. Buy more of it.
I don't think that was fast
Is that what he's
enough.
asked? No, okay.
I don't think it was fast enough. You better try that again.
All right, let's try that again. Okay. Give me some marbles I can put in my mouth. Okay. All right, first of all, let's bring the stock back. Now, before you add to any stock, the first thing you want to know is, what's the 10-year Treasury yield doing? Okay? Because, again, that's important. That tells you if that stock is going against the market or going with the market. But for now, the market, the stock is a, what is this? This retail?
It's tech.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's crypto. Okay, that's right, crypto stock. So here's the situation. If these yields keep on going up where they are right now, I would not add to this until I knew I could get above $48. If I can, you're right now around 36.77. The stock is pulling back. It's got a little bit of pressure on it, and it dropped below a critical support, that 200-day moving average. If it drops below the 50, let's say below $30, you want to be, switching your position to short. But right now, I would be very careful. Wait until you get back to that back up to that above $46. Is that right? Yeah, about $46, and that's where you'll be fine if you get above there. And watch your volume. The other reason why the stock's dropping back from that 46 back to where it is now, 36.86, the volume, the energy is leaving because, again, yields are too high.
Great, awesome. So the next one I've got is actually to both of us, and it's more of just a testimonial. And this is coming from Mike in Sarasota, and he says, "Phil and Steve, you guys and your support staff are terrific. I don't send in a lot of questions because I kind of expect what Steve is going to say. Your service is worth more than what I pay. You help me develop an internal discipline that keeps me from getting too emotional over a stock. Thanks to you, I make fewer errors than I used to make. You work really hard, and as a former teacher, I can tell you when someone is devoted to their profession and have their students' interests at heart. So have a great Thanksgiving. You both deserve it." Thank you, Mike.
No, that's great. That's Mike. And we do, people don't realize our job around here, and we talk to the staff, we talk about it every day. The first thing we focus on, not losing money. I always tell my members, my staff, I always say, look, as long as they don't lose money, they'll stay with us forever. As long as they don't lose money, they'll stay with us forever. And how do we make sure they don't lose money? That we can get them to a point that when a stock goes down, it doesn't matter.
That's right.
We got to get to it right.
Short.
Yeah, you got to get to a point that they're never wrong. Now, what does that mean? You're never wrong. If you're going to buy, let's take this stock right here, right? So you buy the stock, it rallied, did nicely in our color-coded chart, telling us it still can go back up because the trend is still good. The trend still, this could go back to a high of 46.28 back in November 15th. It's at 36.92. It can go back. How do we know that? Because the trend, remember, the trend is the most important thing of a stock because trend tells you everything. Trend is your friend. So it's telling us the big institutions still like this stock. How do we know if they don't like it? If it starts turning yellow or red. So again, is to get them to that point that if it turns and goes against them, to short it. Then they get that confidence because then they're never wrong. They're never wrong. What a feeling that is. You buy a stock and you don't have to worry about it. You don't have, if it starts turning against you, you're going to make money. Most of the time, you make more money when they go down, right?
Absolutely. It's a lot easier because just like gravity, everything falls a lot easier.
Yeah, and the other thing, too, remember, like, when the stock market crashes, it's going to be huge. Why? Because, remember, when stocks go up, you got these people always, every time it pulls back, they buy in the pullback. That's all they hear from these fake business news networks. Buy in the pullback, buy in the pullback, buy in the pullback. When a stock goes down, there's nothing stopping it. There's no buy on the pullback. And there's no, and we have zero rates, so there's no way to stop that crash. That's going to be a lot of fun. Be right back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
When the market's open, we watch the market all day long. And when we see there's an opportunity for a stock, and it's a stock that we've been following, there's a lot of stocks we put on our watch list, and it has to hit a certain criteria. Then when it does, we alert you. You immediately get an alert. It says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night. You don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Are you tired of being lied to about some magical economic recovery that only benefits the 1%? And then when the market does collapse, you're sitting there calling your broker, what do I do? When you should be shorting? Learn how to short the market. Continue to listen to my radio show, philsgang.com. Become a member, only $39.95 a month, and learn how to short.
Don't wait. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG. What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com, you can. Phil'sGang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With Phil'sGang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to Phil'sGang.com. Phil'sGang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
With the Phil'sGang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at Phil'sGang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At Phil'sGang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And Phil'sGang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the Phil'sGang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at Phil'sGang.com. That's Phil'sGang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG.
Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grandy. Simply go to Phil'sGang.com. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Steve, I got to play this cut. You got to listen to this. This is another big lie. Listen to this.
The good news is that economic growth is also elevated and above trend. The good news is that economic growth is also elevated and above trend. The good news...
The good news, the good news, the good news. Are you kidding me? The good news. Try it again.
The labor market is very strong.
Oh, next one's everything's great. Labor market's strong.
Tech stocks have actually done very well during rising.
Yeah. Tech stocks do well, even though yields are going up. I mean, everything's just.
The good news is that economic growth is also elevated.
Yeah, that's elevated. Everything's great. Listen, these people are there for one thing: to make you feel good, so you go buy something. You understand? These people compete every day for the advertising dollar. Stop listening to them. Their job is to get on the air and make everything wonderful so you go buy a car. If they can't make you go buy a car, they can't make you warm and fuzzy and feel good. They don't get those advertising dollars. And that's a tough deal because they got to compete with Bloomberg. They got to compete with all the different financial channels. Are you kidding? And they got to stand out before GM says, okay, which one are we going to give the money to? Give the money to the biggest bull sitter, SITTER. That's what they do. So first of all, let's fix this so you don't get hurt. Anytime that you have inflation. Now, inflation comes from almost the same place. Comes from increased money supply. Just think about it. The last 18 months, they increased the money supply by 336%. When they increase that money supply, that inflation goes up. They have to combat that because since 2008, the only thing that's been driving this entire market are tech stocks, which everybody's addicted to.
Especially Pelosi.
I'm just going to say that. Pelosi's net worth went from $40 million to $100 million in 12 months on tech stocks. So they're going to do everything they can to bring yields down. And the only way you can get yields down when you have increased money supply, that's inflation. When you have oil prices going up, that's inflation. Have supply chain problems, that's inflation. The only way that you can get big tech stocks going up against that is to take that $120 billion a month that they're lying to you and saying they're going to taper. They take that money and drive those yields down by buying 10-year treasuries. Yields go down, and then the big tech stocks go up. Now, this guy, Steve, is telling us right here.
The good news is that economic growth is also elevated.
No, economic growth is not elevated. When you look at the first quarter, GDP was 6.4%. The second quarter was just a little bit below that. The third quarter was 2%. We've gone from 6.4% to, I think it was 6.2%. Then we dropped from 6.2 to 2%. Now, wait a minute. It gets worse. If we compare the third quarter last year, we were about 31%. We came off that big stock market crash. How do you go from 31% third quarter to 2%, and then you go from 2% this third quarter from the second quarter 6%, and say it's elevated? Don't believe a word they say, these people. Go ahead. What's your question? Just really angers me.
Well, I don't blame you. Okay, so this is from Leroy. Leroy wants to know about Rivian, RIVN. What is the new parallel to the Pets.com craze during the .com bubble? It's one of the biggest companies ever, clearly manipulating tourists. Even Ford owns a good percentage of it, which is true, and Amazon as well. And it's on top of the conversation despite it barely being a real company with barely any real staff and no product. They don't even have a cardboard cutout or a crayon drawing yet. It may be that we are near the peak of the bubble. I also noticed that SPY had issues passing $470 resistance, and it's constantly dropping in that area each time, unlike before. It may be that there's not enough support anymore to push it higher than that, and the volume money isn't there. What do you think about that, Phil?
I don't buy any of these companies that are brand new. I mean, why take a risk? I don't need to take a risk. When you buy a company that just came public, first of all, when a company comes public, I brought two companies public, and the games they play is incredible to keep that stock up in the very beginning when they bring it out. I mean, the first company I bought public, I was amazed the games they played. I mean, what the hell are you guys doing? Well, we're just going to get it up just so we get it out. We'll drive it up another 10, 15% because we know it's going to drop back. And they support it. We'll support it for 2 days, 3 days. No. Why do that? There's so many good stocks. Why take risk? This is not a risk. Look at, if you're going to be in this game, you always want to be risk off. You always want to be in stocks that are risk off, not risk on. Matter of fact, you know this, Steve. We make sure every stock, we draw a line on our chart for them, for our members, to make sure that they're always, they know where the risk is and the risk off is. We know every stock. I'll give you an example. Let's take our industrials. Other than our color-coded chart tells them money is going into industrials right now, but also tells them the risk off, that play has been done. When we went from 32% to 80% in that area of a stock, that tells you the risk off is from 32% to 80%. That's what we call your easy money. That's what we call your low-hanging fruit. That's what we call is your
sweet spot.
A sweet spot, the highest probability of not losing money. Every time you buy a stock, you want to be in the highest probability of not losing money, and then you always make money consistently. When you start taking these risks, it's insane. Why? Because you want to get rich? You're not going to get rich in this business. Not unless you're down there on Wall Street and you have inside information. That's how you get rich in this business. If you work hard, you can make a real damn good living in this business if you work hard. But if you're just buying stocks and you have another job, this isn't your full-time job, then what the hell are you doing in my market? Why would you be buying a risk-on stock? I've been in this market for 51 years. I don't buy risk-on markets or risk-on stocks. Go ahead. Next.
Yep, GameStop, GME. Do you think that the controversy, the year-long controversy surrounding GameStop will amount to anything, or will it drop back down to its uninflated $10 to $11 stock price? This was from Jeff, and he said he noticed that we don't talk about it very much. This was one of the Reddit stocks.
Yeah, the problem we don't talk about it much, because I'm not much interested in stocks like this. Again, these are what we call tourist stocks. This is where people get in, they don't know what they're doing, and they think they're going to get rich quick. They're going to get rich quick. So to me, if you want to be a speculator, that's fine. There's nothing wrong going to speculate. But why do I have to be a speculator? Speculation is like going to JCPenney, buying a suit for $200 that's inside the store, and you're going to bring it outside and hang it up and put a sign, $400. When you get into these kind of stocks, if you're going to get into a growth, if you want to get into a stock that's a growth stock and you want some risk, then go with Tesla. Go with Tesla. I mean, I know these are sexy stocks. People think they're going to get rich on these stocks.
I wouldn't buy Tesla today, though. Turning red.
No, my point is, if you're going to get into an overall stock, why would I get into GameStop when I can get a stock like Tesla, even if I'm going to short it? No, if you're going to play this stock right now, I'd be waiting for the short side of this stock. If this breaks below 160, which it will be, then if it breaks below 160, I'm a sell short. I'll sell short. If it breaks above 360, I'll buy it. Breaks above 360, I buy it. But in between, don't want anything to do with it. You don't need to make work for yourself in this business. Easier ways to make money in this business than go after this kind of crap.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
What, are you nuts? If the stock market can make you so rich, especially Apple and Microsoft and Google and Amazon and the rest, why are so many Americans poor? If the 401k promises you a retirement, then why is it we are in a retirement crisis? Here's the answer. Because 85% of you get out of the market too late. I fixed that with my color-coded chart, which tells you when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out. That's right, when to run like hell. Check it out. You get a free membership and the free color-coded chart for 10 days. Check it out, philsgang.com. Warning. Google, Apple, Microsoft, Netflix, Facebook, all these hot stocks are going to crash. They're going to drop as much as 60-70%. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Exactly what happened in the dot-com days is going to repeat itself. Remember, 85% of people lose money in the stock market because they don't know when to get out. I fixed that with my color code technology chart. It tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. That's right. Make sure you check it out. It's free for 10 days. philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down. It keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now are the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
Short on time but want to invest in the stock market? Let philsgang.com help you. For only $39.95 a month, you get complete access to all of Phil's powerful investing programs, videos, and resources.
That works for me. Log in, watch the videos, and make profits.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call 877-600-GANG.
I've been a Phil's Gang member since 2014. Over that time, I've generated over six-figure profits. Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life. I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents. If you really trust in their system, you will do well.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call, 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. We're going to take some more of your questions, but first, please remember this. You know, I understand those stocks. They're sexy, they're fun to get in these big wild stocks. You can make a ton of money. How many people actually make a ton of money in them? Very few people. Very few. You got to be in the inside. You got to know what's going on. You got to have the inside information. Very few people make money on those kind of stocks. When you get in, they've already made their money. That's what people don't understand. They've already made their money. The insiders made their money. How do you think Kramer got so wealthy? All inside information. That's how he made his money. He couldn't pick a good stock if he tripped over it without inside information. During the dot-com days, that's how he made his fortune. If you want to make money in this business, it's the steady drip. I'll give you an example. Why buy the GameStop when you can go in and you could have bought, if you were with us, you could have bought the ETF for all the big tech stocks. Now, one thing I know about big tech stocks, they're going to keep driving those big tech stocks up until the day the world blows up, because everybody in Congress, every governor, everybody owns tech stocks. People are just addicted to them. So all you had to do, when our color-coded chart went from red to green, if you started to buy XLK back in April 21, which we did, XLK, and you went from April 21 to about just before it turned red, August 31st. That's about what, 78% gain? 78% with risk off, right, Steve? Risk off.
That's right, Phil.
Why do you need to? Why play Russian roulette? Go ahead, take some more questions. Drives me nuts. Go ahead.
Okay, so the next one's actually for you again. I think they just hear enough from me through the week. They want to hear from you now. This is from Verzu, and he wants to know, what is your take on trading options, Phil? You know, why don't you like it?
Oh, no, it's not that I don't like options. If you're going to be an options trader, that's what you should be, just an options trader. Now, you can use options also for hedging. The problem with options is they suck people in, just like 401ks. People get sucked in. What made the 401k one of the biggest skimming operations ever is they couldn't sell 401ks. When they got rid of the pension fund, they tried to convince everybody to get in a 401k. They were having a hell of a time. Everybody was fighting them. Then when they finally said, we're going to match you. Oh my God, people started to climb over each other by a 401k, because if I put $1 in, they're going to put $1 in, which one day I'll go over with you. That's a bunch of crap. And so the what was the question? Oh, options.
What are your thoughts on options?
Options are great if you use them for hedging. They're great for hedging, but to get in and make money in the option market, to be there every day or working on focus, you got to do it full time. You got to be on it every day. It's too much work, too much risk, because they suck people in with, oh, well, you don't have to pay $400 for a stock. You only have to pay $5 with an option. That's the way they suck people in. Why are you paying $300 for that stock? You can go buy an option and pay $2. But the guy shouldn't be in the options to begin with. Doesn't know what he's doing. I love options if you're a pro at. Just like, don't buy coins, don't buy gold coins unless that's all you do. If you understand gold coins, be a gold coiner. If you understand options, then stay with options. If you want to be a hobo or a bum, be the best hobo and bum you can be. Stay with it. Stay being a bum. That's how it works. Go ahead.
I like that. Okay, this morning, this is from Jack, gang member, and he said that he found it odd that this morning you mentioned in your crash trend analysis, let's see, he said, this is what it says exactly. I found it odd Phil mentioned dates in his crash trend analysis this morning. He's usually careful to avoid doing that, so I wonder what changed, and also wondering if both you guys think Zillow's crash was an isolated incident or if it was foreshadowing the bubble bursting in the housing market in the near future.
Yes, great question. What I said, this is great. He picked that up. I said, I think this market's going to have a correction, not a crash, but maybe another 25, 30% correction, maybe February or March. And you're right. I said that off of Zillow. Because think about Zillow. They're in the game. They know this game better than anybody. They know real estate better than anyone. And they're dumping their inventory as fast as they can. They know what they're doing. And they're dumping that inventory because they see what I see. Oil, remember, oil went up for the wrong reasons. Oil didn't go up because the economy was growing. There was big demand. You know how you always hear this administration say, we created all these jobs. We created all these. They didn't create one job. So oil didn't go up because the economy was booming. It wasn't booming. The economy was shut down. Then when they opened it up, of course it went up. People who are late, 22 million people are laid off. Hey, go back to work. It's okay now. You can be 6 feet away from the guy you work with. Fine. But what I see right now is that housing market is so overpriced. They're nuts. But again, the people who bought houses, most of them, they could afford it. They could afford to pay 20, 30% more than they should have. But people are looking at the housing market as a barometer how good the economy is. You're being lied to. The housing market sucks. It's not good. You have this little sliver of the market, the housing went up. It was just unique. And if Zillow knows more about housing than I'll ever know, if they're dumping their inventory, that's why I said I think we're pretty close to February where now again, one thing, we got to see oil drop. If oil starts to drop, and I'm giving myself enough room between now and February, and I think oil's going to drop because I think when in Europe, when things get really cold over there, I think that pandemic's going to spread like hell. And people are going to panic. Oil price is going to drop because there's no need for oil when everything shuts down. And then, boy, housing will drop. Then people will panic, say, oh, my God, what's going on? Get me out of stocks. Get me out of stocks. Put me in bonds.
I love it. I love it. All right, so Charles, longtime gang member, and he's a follower on our YouTube channel, The Phil's Gang, and he wants to know about BTU. He wants an entry point with 100 shares to start with. He says, because I see the stochastics that institutions are changing their positions from sweet spot shorting to going long. What's your opinion on that?
BTU, okay, put it up. BTU?
Uh-huh.
Okay, Peabody, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Right now, what he wants to know if we'd buy this.
He wants to know what your position is on going long on it right now.
No, I wouldn't because it's a solid downtrend right now, and it just broke below our 38%.
Yeah, I agree. It's still trending down strong. You got a little bit of a snap.
Yeah, that's right. The coal company, 38%. Oh no, I wouldn't touch this right now. Here's what I would do though with this. Okay. I'd wait, and if all of a sudden this stock gets up to around 1440, and we get that stochastic on the bottom turning up above 40, then I would possibly buy it. But right now I'd stay away from this. If anything, it's a short. But the problem is a short. It's already under that 38% mark, unless you're an expert.
I got you. Okay, so I got time. One more. I got time for one more, and it says, "Hi, Phil and Steve. I had a short on Facebook. I know without a stop. Learned that lesson. Long-term trend was up, but I was only planning to short for a day or two. On Monday, I did a market buy just to get out. The next day, Facebook went down even more. What indicator could I have used to have me hold on a little bit longer overnight? And I can answer that one
go ahead
if you
and
want
answer
to.
that, yeah.
Okay, so looking at Facebook on our charts, what you would have stayed with on here, well, really nothing. I mean, the trend was up. It was pulling back into a snapback. So you did the right thing by dumping it in the short position. Now you just got to be patient and let it break out at the top.
Exactly. Look, folks, people make this too hard. We created a chart. It's a color-coded chart. Tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to add. Just for 10 days. It's free. Just check it out. You'll see it works. Have a great Thanksgiving. See you on the charts.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.